What if I told you there's a specific day in your future when your alarm clock becomes optional? Not because you won the lottery, not because you started a unicorn startup, but because the math quietly flipped in your favor. Imagine this. You wake up, pour your coffee, open your investment app, and yesterday your portfolio made $400. Meanwhile, you worked 8 hours and took home $320 after taxes. Your money worked harder than you did. That moment has a name. It's called the crossover point. Most people will never even hear about it. They'll trade time for money for 40 years, hoping retirement somehow works out. But the crossover point is not hope. It's not motivation. It's not a rich mindset. It's a formula. The concept was popularized in the book Your Money or Your Life by Vicki Robin and Joe Dominguez, and it might be one of the most ignored ideas in personal finance. Here's how it works. You have two lines in your financial life. Line 1, your expenses: rent, food, insurance, subscriptions you forgot to cancel, everything it costs just to exist. Line 2, your investment income: dividends, interest, growth, the money your money makes. At first, that second line is flat, almost dead. But compound interest is exponential. It bends upward slowly, then faster, then aggressively. The crossover point is when your investment income covers your expenses. Work becomes optional. Let's talk numbers. Suppose you spend $4,000 per month. That's $48,000 per year. Using the 4% rule, you'd need about $1.2 million invested to generate that income sustainably. Sounds impossible? Let's break that illusion. If you invest $500 per month at 8% annually, you might reach that in your mid-60s. That's the slow path. But here's the twist. The crossover point depends on two variables: how much you invest and how much you spend. Reduce expenses and the target shrinks. Increase investments and the timeline shrinks. If you cut expenses to $3,000 per month, your target drops to $900,000. If you invest $1,000 per month instead of $500, you could move the crossover 10 years earlier, 10 years of your life back. And here's something most people don't understand. Freedom isn't binary. When your investments produce $500 a month, that's your car payment covered. At $1,000, groceries and utilities. At $2,000, most of your lifestyle. You feel freer long before the lines fully cross. There's even a stage called coast-fi. That's when you've invested enough that even if you stopped contributing today, compound growth alone will carry you to financial independence by retirement age. Imagine being 30 years old with enough invested that your retirement is mathematically guaranteed. Would you negotiate your job differently? Would you take more risks? Would you sleep better? And now let's address the fear. What about crashes, inflation, recessions? Markets fall. That's normal. Historically, downturns are already baked into long-term average returns. If you're investing consistently, crashes are discounts, not disasters. The real risk isn't volatility, it's spending 45 years working with no plan. So here's what you should actually do. First, calculate your real monthly expenses, not your guess, your reality. Second, multiply annual expenses by 25. That's your crossover number. Third, compare it to your current investments. That gap is your freedom distance. Fourth, ask how to shrink that distance faster. Earn more, spend less, invest windfalls. And here's the mindset shift I want you to remember. Every purchase costs you money, but it also costs you time before crossover. That $15,000 car upgrade, it's not just $15,000. Invested at 8%, that could double roughly every 9 years. That car could cost you years of freedom. Money isn't just currency, it's stored life energy. And the crossover point is the moment your stored life energy starts working harder than you do. One random Tuesday in the future, you'll check your accounts and realize the game changed. The question is, how far away is that Tuesday? If this changed the way you see money, subscribe and join me, because freedom isn't luck, it's math.